MGTOW monk.
Hey guys, welcome to the Monk Show and Tales from the Monk. Well, I finally did it. I tracked down a sex doll brothel and decided to give a go at one of these new sex doll things to see what was going on. So, it cost $200 for 2 hours, and I thought that's plenty of time. And you walk in, and basically they had 6 or 8 bedrooms, all nice, and each one had a different sex doll in it. And they were dressed in fine lingerie, and you got to sort of pick the one you liked. They had one model for black guys with a giant bootay, which was hilarious. They had one model that had breasts the size of watermelons, and no, I picked the basic pert blonde with nice B-cups, and so they give you some of the basics. They've got some of this basic lube and how to kit your doll up, and they show you how they move and how to be careful with them because it's pretty easy to break them. Apparently, they don't bend so well. And the other thing, the very first thing you notice when you go in is that these dolls that are laying on the bed, they're quite heavy. They're really heavy. And so if you like girl on top, there's a pretty good chance you're going to get smooshed by the weight. You might even get suffocated if you get the big-breasted models. You better be careful. So the best is missionary or a la dog, because you really can't have this thing, on top of you. They don't really have skeletons. They're pretty stiff. They kind of move a little bit, and their faces aren't quite as bad as the blow up doll O face, but they aren't great. Anyways, so I decided just to give it a basic try to see what the experience was like, and I thought I'd tell you. So yeah, so I'm trying it, and it's like, yeah, it's kind of better than a fleshlight, it's like a whole body, but and you kind of like you're doing your thing, but it's really hard to get past the fact that they don't move. I think even more so, like they're not even opposable. You can't really have them, position them exactly how you want to get them to be in a certain way. It's kind of limited, and it can make getting to the right position hard, and they're not warm. And one of the things that really began to dawn on me was that the sex really wasn't there yet. They really need to have more sophistication in the electronics, auto squeeze machines, and they really need to have something moving and something a little more dynamic than just like the fleshlight approach. So I really think until they get that to the next level of advancement, where there's some kind of cybertronic, robotic, squeezator inside, and maybe even thrusting motions, and just a lot more to simulate reality, that they're not the best. But on the other hand, they were a lot more interesting as just companions, and I could see feeling kind of affection for them. And actually, as just dolls, they were pretty interesting. I think the concept of just having a doll companion is almost a lot more compelling than the sexual aspect of it. And I think we're still probably 10 years away, which means in 5 or 6 years, if you spend a lot, probably like 50 grand, it's going to be like a Cadillac CTS. It's going to be like a high-end luxury ride. if you get that, I think it's coming. My overall impression was they're trying, they aren't really doing it right, and it's gonna be there. But I'd hold off before you plunk down your two or 5,000. I'd hold off a couple more years because I think what we're gonna see next is gonna be much better. And I think that these initial attempts at a sex doll are really just dumber people doing it who don't really know much. And I think that now that the money's been proven, smarter people are going to get into it and do much better. And actually, I guess Real Dolls has been investing a lot in AI and robotics and much more realism, but even their efforts are crappy right now. So hold off. I think the value of the doll is going to be as a companion, and I think that means language and speaking. I mean, I want to open my door after a hard day's work, and the doll goes, "Hello, master, can I make you a sandwich?" And I'm like, "Yes, please." "And would you like a beer?" "Why, yes, I would like a beer with my sandwich." And then I'll go sit down, and it'll open up the refrigerator, and there'll be these like special boxes that are like for the android that it can recognize. It's like, this is bread, this is mayo, this is lettuce, this is tomato. And it should kind of like roughly put it together, open a beer, carry it out to you, and then start massaging your shoulders. I think when they can do that, I'll plunk down my 50 grand. Probably not before then, though. All right, hope you enjoyed this episode. And yeah, go check out a sex doll brothel. It's a hoot, especially if you're drunk.